Welcome, welcome. Hey, so glad you're here. Hey, so glad you're here. Okay, we're going to get started today. I want to talk to you just a little bit before we get started with our yoga practice today about our self-care challenge. For those that were here live in the call, this is going to be repeat information, but for the rest of you that are just joining us, we're going to be doing a really fun self-love, self-care challenge starting on the 22nd of November, 2020. As we record this, it's just a couple of weeks away. We are here on the new moon and Scorpio, so there's a lot of really great shifting energy, a lot of time to delve deep into some shadow work and really release a lot of stuff. So to get prepped for the self-care challenge, you can join it by going to https:// so that gets it to the right link, because if you don't put that part in there, sometimes the link doesn't work, but it's bit.ly/self-care challenge. So bit.ly/self-care challenge. You can join our Global Goddess Tribe for this beautiful challenge. It's just 3 days on the week of Thanksgiving. But once you sign up, it's free, and you get to start with the affirmation creation. And so we just talked a little bit this morning about the benefits of really using your affirmations in your self-care practice and what that looks like. So I'm really excited about this. We'll have a little mini taste of what it's like to be part of this Global Goddess Tribe in the deeper levels and the deeper layers of the tribe, where it's really in our inner circle with the teachers that are in our training program online and the ones that have attended our retreats with the Inner Goddess Retreat. So we'll be sharing and working together during this 3-day challenge on the week of Thanksgiving. So sign up for that. And we're going to get started today talking about breath and how you can work with your breath, and talking about just, just some things that are happening with the new moon. And we're going to do a little bit of flow. We're going to focus on opening the space in the neck and shoulders today. So go ahead and grab your mat and find a place to sit, whether you're outside or inside. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a cushion here to sit on. And just find your seated posture. Bring the cushion up underneath your hips, just under your sit bones, and let your knees drop open. Let the shoulders relax back and down. Soften your belly, relax your tailbone. We're just going to breathe in and out through the nose. Deep breath in and out through the nose. Good. So I'm just checking on you to see how you're doing, making sure I can see all y'all that are on the chat. Perfect. Very nice. So yeah, let's just begin breathing deeply. Nice, long, deep, full inhales. Just natural breath. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Apologize. We're not shaping our breath at any point right now. We're just simply tapping into the breath and allowing that breath to be long and full. Noticing whether you started out kind of short breath, as you begin to settle and relax, as it just naturally begins to elongate. And we're going to begin to work with that and do some pranayama, some breath control. So today is the new moon, as well as the first day of Diwali, the Festival of Lights. In the Hindu culture, is celebrated all over the world. And so this is just a beautiful time for starting something new on many levels. And some of you have been doing some really deep dives into releasing shadow work, working on releasing karmic binds, releasing ancestral karma, just a lot of very, very deep work. And some of you are kind of forced into that work because you're reflecting on yourself and really just doing those deep dive work. So congratulations on that. If this is something that's new for you and you need help with that, just private message me and I can help you with some coaching, or my coaches can help you with some coaching on that, on how to even start that process. So today we're just going to really focus on this breath, just in this now moment, and allowing a space of expansion. So new moon is a space of creation. It's a space of expansion. It's a space of new beginnings. And so we're going to just begin to expand with our own natural breath. Let's take our hand and just kind of place our hand on our belly, relax the shoulders, and just feel your belly. Just kind of feel where it's at. You can use your palms by spreading them out and just feeling the whole entire abdomen move as you breathe. And if your abdomen doesn't move as you breathe, that's what your work, where your work is right there. Bringing the breath all the way down into your hara, that navel center, that place of power. The hara is that place between the pubic bone and the navel in the sacral chakra region. This is the center of our power. Any martial artists are familiar with this area because when you do martial arts, you express a strong amount of energy in one movement. And so it's that place where you push from, or when you hear like someone hitting a board and they're gonna hit and they say, Kia, Kia, you know, so that place where that sound, that power comes from. So you're filling up that place of power with your breath. Breath is prana. Breath is life force energy. So breathing into that life force energy, feeling that connection. Continue to expand and soften on your exhale. So expansion and then soften. Feel your hands slightly move apart. For those of you that have ever been pregnant, you're gonna just really focus on trying to expand, like almost like your belly was like in your first trimester. You're puffing out that belly. So you're breathing all the way into that abdomen. Sometimes it feels backwards for those of you that are new to this practice as you breathe in to feel the belly come out. I was a backwards breather for a very long time, even almost 7 years into my yoga practice, I was a backwards breather, meaning I would breathe in only in my chest, but my belly would stay contracted. We're taught so much in the Western culture to suck it in, tighten it up, stuff it down, be quiet, you know, and so all that causes us not to be able to breathe into our belly. So we have to really do a lot of work on all of that stuff just so we could get that life force back into our body. So as you begin to breathe and your belly does puff out, we're pulling the diaphragm down as the lungs expand, breath coming in, opening, downward flow, expansive. And as we exhale, press from the belly button, squeeze the pelvic floor. So you're tightening the root block as if you're stepping into a pool of cold water or cutting off the flow of urine. Holding that energy in the body and then pressing, and exhale is an upward flow and outward flow. So you're pressing up with the diaphragm, you're feeling the energy moving up and out. And sometimes it feels so kindergarten, you know, to like, I know freaking how to breathe. Why are you telling me how to breathe? But do you really? Do you really know how to breathe? This is the essence of our life force energy. And if you have been practicing this for a while, this is elementary for you. Go back to the beginnings with me. Just humor me today. And feel that breath expanding and opening. This foundation is the structure from which we build everything in our yoga practice on. Breath is actually an advanced practice after the asana practice. It's after on the limbs of yoga. It's above the asana practice. It's the next step. So the mastery of our breath is the mastery of our life force. And if we can master our life force energy, we can master anything. We are the masters of our own creation. Every breath in is expansive. Feel it fill all the way up until our collarbones. Still keeping the energy contained at the root chakra. with a slight bond, mula bandha, that bind at the root. As you exhale, you begin to feel the outward flow. And just feel, now begin to marry that inhale and that exhale, and that inhale. And it begins to just flow. If you've ever watched the ocean, you're going to see the waves come in and crash in, and at the very same time, simultaneous, it cannot ever be separated. The tide is going back out. So you'll feel that wave rolling in. As that's rolling in, the tide is rolling out. And if you've ever sat and watched the ocean at the shore at any given point, you're going to notice how that's completely inseparable. It's that ebb and that flow, forward and backward, upward and down, expansive and contraction. Everything in the universe has this equal and opposite energy. And so paying attention both to the contraction and the expansion. And so I want to point out to you now, as you get to the bottom of the expansion and as you the bottom of the contraction. And so the bottom of the contraction and the top of the breath is called a kumbhaka, or a pause in the breath. So we have the bottom of the breath where we're squeezing out is the kumbhaka, the pause. And at that bottom of the breath where we have no breath, no prana, no life force, we've pushed all that out. That is the point where you do your surrender. What are you letting go of? What are you releasing? How can you release a little further? What can you let go of? What are you attaching onto? Holding without breath. And then slowly sipping that air back in, letting it rise back in, and then coming back all the way to the top of the breath. And at the very, very top, that kumbhaka, that pause, hold there a moment and pause and feel that breath at the very, very top. Feel that fullest part, like where you're closest to the sun, that pulling in that energy, that oxygen, that solar reflection. Your solar plexus is open, your heart is open, your belly is open. And so what are you pulling in? What are you drawing into your life? What are you manifesting? What are you creating in your life? So exhaling, releasing, softening, squeezing out, letting go. And with your intention, again, just what are you releasing? What are you softening? What are you letting go of? What are you just not focusing on? What are you choosing to release and not pay conscious attention to or let have control over you any longer? And then at the very, very top of the breath, expanding, openness, heart open, collarbones open, solar plexus open. What are you drawing into your life? Exhale everything out and then just touch the ground and feel the earth below you. And just tapping into the frequency of the planet. It's really, really important right now, especially to tap into the planet and to really pull pranic energy from the planet. I'm going to draw that up and around the body, expanding all the way up, pulling this earth energy around us like a bubble of protection, and then just clap at the top, closing that bubble off. Then we're going to release everything out from our energy bubble that does not serve us by making a lightning bolt and then grounding it. So this is a Reiki symbol that's for cutting and clearing. So you're just going to clear off. So you make like a double lightning bolt and ground it down. So just releasing and also receiving. Bring your hands up into Victory Mudra. And we're going to take Prana Mudra. So we're going to bend the pinky and the ring finger down. We're just going to have the pointer finger and the middle finger extended. And then just take your pinky and your ring finger over your thumbnail like that into Prana Mudra. And just releasing up and open, expanding, receiving, pulling in this beautiful intention. Maybe you have some intentions set for the new moon. Maybe you're setting your intention right now in this now moment. Maybe you're just intending on feeling good and find that feeling good vibration, that vibe of joy right now in this moment. And as you find that vibration of joy, allow it. Don't fight it. Don't feel guilty for it. This is your truest nature, is to feel this vibration of joy and feel in this appreciation and this love vibration from the universe. And as we stay here for about 67 seconds, we become like a little radio antenna to pull in more and more and more feelings of love and joy and appreciation. It is the law of attraction. We begin to feel this expressing out from the electromagnetic field of our heart. It radiates out to the plants that are around us, to the people that are around us, to our home, to our community, to our state, to our country, to our world, to the entire planet. Let's bring our hands into our heart center, settling that intention down into our heart. Bring the arms out and open. We're just going to do some heart opening with some Kundalini arm circles. We're just going to move in circles. Use your breath. So you're moving your breath with the rotations of your arms. Anytime you move through the arms, you're moving through the heart chakra. So just breathing with every circle, allowing the breath to match the movement. Keep going. So whichever direction you're going, keep going the same way with the breath on the same stroke. And then we're going to pause and we're going to reverse our breath. Now breathing in where you were breathing out before. Keep going. Opening up those shoulders, opening up the heart. You might begin to feel it in the shoulders, the triceps, the deltoids, your arms might be getting more heavy. Keep going. Maybe widen your circles a little bit. Come back up to Victory Mudra. Prana Mudra. And breathe. Come back to your intention. Opening up that heart space. Now just take your fingers and touch your shoulders, and we're just going to do some really swift movement here. I'm going to actually take my hair out. If your hair is up, you can let your hair down for this practice because it's really fun to let your hair actually fly and move with this practice. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to breathe in one direction, breathe out the other direction. So breath in, look back, breath out, look back, okay? And we're going to go fast. So you adjust yourself so you have room. You're going to just take your and touch your thumbs and fingers and keep going. So ready? Keep going. Look, look, behind you, behind you. Don't look in front of you. Just look at that point behind you. Keep going. About 10 more seconds. Breath, 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 breath. Keep going. Last few. Pause. Keep your fingers there. Heart still open. Back to your breath. Back to Victory Mudra with Prana Mudra. What is your intention? What are you calling in? What is your dream life? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Step into it right now. It's already happened. What does it feel like? Okay, back to our practice. This time we're going to breathe in the other side, breathe out the other side, and go. Spin and really let your hair fly. Keep going. Arms high. Breath, breath. This is why we do not eat before yoga. Keep going. 5. Back and hold. Back to victory mudra. Prana mudra. Wow. You might feel some stuff coming up. Ground down through your tailbone. Bring yourself into that vibration of joy. What are you creating in your life? What are you pulling in? Those arms might be really tired. It's okay, you've got this. You might need to burp to release some energy. Hands together. Back to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Seal that in. Ground it down. Touch the earth. Feel that deep, full breath. In and out through the nose. Feel how open your heart is. Feel how you squeezed out all that stuff in your abdominal area. Stuff that we might have held, stuffed down, drank down, ate down, smoked down, packed it. It's unpacking, it's releasing. Let it go. Let's take some lion's breath. So we're going to come into all fours. Take a tiny sip of water, not a big one. We're going to do a little bit further releasing. Okay, so lion's breath, you have to be all in, y'all. You can't do lion's breath and be half-assed. You just can't. So, do you have your own personal commitment to be all in with this breath? Yes? Okay. So this breath requires us to not be lame, and it requires us to be fully present in the practice. So I don't know where people get the hesitation of sticking their tongue out. But when you stick out your tongue in lion's breath, you don't go, hey. Okay. Hey. No. You stick your tongue all the way out and go, ha. Okay. If you can't do that, or you think you can't do that, there's your work. Are you really so concerned about what your family is doing in the TV room that they're going to hear you? Get over that. All right? Are you all in? Are you ready? We're going to do 5, not lame ones, full on. And sometimes you might cough. Sometimes I might cough for you and clear stuff for you. This is going to help. Anything that we've stirred up in the heart is going to help open that throat and release it out. Okay, let's do it. 5, breath in. And then lean forward. Breath in. And go. Breath in. And release. 2 more. You've got this. I don't care if you feel silly. Big breath. Clear it like you mean it. Come back to your center. We're in rock pose. I'm sitting on my heels. My heels are directly under my sit bones. If that's too much for you, take your cushion and sit on your cushion and bring your feet apart outside of your body into hero's pose. Support that tailbone. You might feel some releasing, some further releasing, burping, farting. Any kind of release in the body is very normal. So you're making space. In yoga, we are space makers. My teacher, Leslie Kamenoff, my anatomy teacher, my anatomy of the breath teacher, says we are space creators. We are space makers in yoga. That's what we do. We make space in the body. So now that you've made some space, back to your victory mudra. What are you pulling in? Prana mudra, overlap your thumbs with those two fingers. Pull in that life force energy. Did you kick your tailbone out? Are you releasing all of your energy through your sacral chakra? Root down, tuck your pubic bone forward. So you're rooted. Really find that nice strong seat. My sit bones are right on my heels. My toes are pointed straight back. They're not pointed in. Now come back to that full, huge belly breath. Expansion. And releasing, just like the ebb and flow of the tide. Contraction and release. Keep your root lock. Expansion. Sometimes it's really hard to keep root lock while you're fully expanded. It might make you want to contract your belly. So that's a huge practice there, is keeping root lock, but fully expanding. Contraction, soften and release. Now at the top and the bottom of the breath, I have a very simple mantra. It means truth is in thy name. Satnam. Satanama is the syllables for Satnam. So at the top of the breath, saying Sa. On the exhale, saying Ta. All the way out at the bottom of the breath, Na. Back to the inhale, Ma. So when your mind gets carried away, you can add these four syllable mantra to your breath. Satanama. If you're breathing really fast, your satanama is going to be fast. If you're breathing really slow, your satanama is going to be really slow. One more. Again, you're saying it in your mind. Ta, the top of the breath. Na, releasing. Mas, holding. Back to your inhale. So as you finish your Satanama, hands to the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, and we're going to ground that down. Solar plexus, sacral chakra, root, and then down to the earth. Touching the ground. Checking with Panchamama. Woo! Take a little drink. Alexa, stop. So here, we're just going to pause, and I'm going to grab my little cushion. You can come into stands on the knees. If you need pad for your knee, fold your mat in half. And just ground down here, palms to the thighs. Relax your butt. Bring the shoulders back and away from the ears so that your shoulders aren't hunching up. They should be pretty full and relaxed now and very warm. And we're just going to come into camel, Ustrasana. So you can turn to the side if you want to here on your mat. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to tuck my toes under. So I'm going to have a little further support. I'm going to reach back and peel my pinky toe apart so that my ball of my foot is fully grounded. And starting with the hands on the thighs, we're just going to breathe in, reach up, Exhale back. Breathe in, reach up. And bring it back. Let's do that a couple times. Breathing in, reaching up, dropping the head. Bringing it back down one more time. So you can see where we're going. This time we're going to take our right hand up. Breathe in, reach up, bring it all the way around. And then take your fist right to the center of your sacrum. Squeeze the shoulder blade. So you're tucking your shoulder blade back and down and rolling up and open so that shoulder blade is tucked in. Tuck your chin. Push the pelvis forward. Now you're expanding the solar plexus. So what you're doing is creating space from the pubic bone to the solar plexus, opening that space. Chin is locked, protecting the throat. Maybe widen the knees a little bit. And come back to center. Taking that left hand up, big reach up. Fist comes right to the sacrum again. Shoulder blade tucks back and down. Tuck the chin, Jalanda Harabandha. Throat lock. We'd practiced root lock earlier. Now we're in root lock and throat lock. Expand. The other hand is grounding on the thigh. Coming back to center. We're going to do 2 more times. You can do the same way we did just exactly, or you can come into your full camel, starting with the right hand up. You can come into your half camel here. You can come into your full left hand up, both fists parked side by side, just like that. Or you can have your fingertips face up or face down, but make sure they're below the rim of your pelvis. Again, tuck those shoulders back and down. You can come into your throat lock here, or you can let your head drop. Big, huge breath. Tuck the chin. Come back to stands on knees. Ground your hands to your thighs. Tailbone grounded down. If you wanted to deepen, you can reach for your heels this time, or you can point your feet and flatten your palms out onto your feet. Whatever feels best for you today. Or you can just come into your half camel with the left side. So breathing in, let's take that left side up this time. You can start in throat lock. You can bring your right hand up to meet it and back. You can let the chin drop, or you can let the chin stay in throat lock, coming into your camel. If you want to deepen here, you can reach back for the heels. Palms press onto the heels. Or you can point your toes. Again, you're opening through the solar plexus, through the throat. Push the hips forward and breathe. One more. Throat lock. Come back, stands on knees. Ground through the tailbone, pushing the pubic bone forward. And let's come back to either rock pose, or you can come into hero's pose. Hero's pose, you're going to take a bolster between your heels, knees face forward, toes point straight back, and sit there. Or if you're going to come into rock pose, you're going to bring your heels directly underneath your sit bones. Let's ground our hands onto our thighs right now. Your heart rate will probably be up from the back bending. You might begin to feel a little sweaty and some of that fire moving through the body. Now again, make sure your tailbone is grounded. Your pubic bone is tipping forward. and breathe. Take a little bit of a lateral flexion. So take your left hand out to the side, right hand comes over. Just find a nice reach. And then just release that energy through the hand, swirling and opening the shoulder. And the other way. Releasing that energy from the side body, coming back up. Let's come into Victory Mudra, Prana Mudra. Again, calling in your intention for this new moon. Stepping into that vibration of joy, love, and appreciation. Bringing the hand down. And just flexing the spine laterally. A lot of times we don't move the spine in this direction. And then releasing that energy from the side body, swirling it out, releasing it out, both directions. Don't let your bottom shoulder crunch up by your ear. You can bend your elbow to get a little deeper. Reaching up back to your Victory Mudra. You want to take Prana Mudra, fold those little fingers down and the ring finger. And then hands to the crown, third eye, throat, heart. Turning the fingertips down, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root. Let's ground it down. Take a little sip of water. Not only for hydration, but also to bring yourself back into your body. Beautiful. So since most of us are watching this today in the middle of the day, we're going to end with a simple intention to keep our frequency high and keeping that vibration of joy over the new moon. So let's bring our hands to our heart, sealing in all of the benefits of our practice. Remembering too that we are not in this alone. Reaching out to other like-minded sisters and brothers in our tribe. In the Global Goddess Tribe, we have a safe and sacred space for that. Honoring the light within ourselves. Honoring that light within each and every living being. And it is within that light that we are all one. Taking a deep bow, namaste. You can take this opportunity to move into a child's pose and close your practice, to move into a seated meditation, to further move into your intention for the new moon, do some journaling, or move into a supine shavasana practice on your own. So I encourage you to go wherever you need to go. Don't just jump off your mat, but just simply moving into whatever state of that part of the practice that feels good for you right now. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you in our self-care challenge, bit.ly/self-care challenge. And we'll see you on the next video. Love you so much. Namaste.